Britain's finest juice.
So you returned in November with Metrotech, a song that to me has glimpses of like Bowie and Talking Heads. Would you say that this is a new direction for you?
Yeah, I think we just wanted to make something a little fun and groovy and like not something that doesn't have too many drastic changes in it.
So why did you decide to lead with Metrotech?
Well, we were recording the record when we put out Metrotech, and the whole record wasn't done yet. It was just like one of those things where we're all dancing around, like jumping up and down in the studio, just excited for that, antsy to put something out, because we were like listening to all this new stuff, just excited. Metrotech was one of the first things that we were just like, oh, let's just put it out now,
So you're a New York band, and as such, people compare you to other New York bands. What's that like? Or is it something you embrace?
It's kind of just like, gets old after a while. I mean, they don't compare us to very many New York bands. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Obviously with this record as well, you're getting a lot of Talking Heads, and I heard a lot of Television, Marquee Moon in particular.
Yeah, I mean, those are classics, man. I love those records. Like, I grew up listening to those records. When I first, developed my own music taste, and I wasn't just borrowing my sister's old CDs anymore, those are my first, classic jams that I had. I used to just buy boxes of CDs, in bulk on the internet, and I wouldn't even know exactly what they were, but I was in a phase of ordering, what I thought were, punk CDs. I remember Marquee Moon was one of them. And I was like, this doesn't sound like what I thought it would, being labeled kind of a punk record. And then it was seriously soundtracked my high school, teenage, driving around. For me, it's funny because that was totally my Southern stoner record, but it isn't actually that. It's such a classic rock record,
I think it'd be fair to say that you've had a lot of love in the UK as well. Would you describe it as a second home?
Yeah, I mean, I love going there, man. Going there, playing shows, the audiences are just great. It's just, I don't know, I think it's a better energy. I think you guys kind of appreciate rock and roll more on that kind of level. I mean, it's always a good time. It's reliably a good time, and we have a lot of friends there. And it's just great. I love going there.
And you recorded Never Enough there as well, which you had a lot of success with. Was there any nerves going into Street Safari after that? Not really. I didn't really give myself too much of a break to be too nervous. But I mean, I don't know. The only pressure I put on is from me, from myself. I only want to do better than the last thing I did, and I don't really care what anybody else has to say about it. So it's good if people like it, but I don't really feel any outside pressure. So we're not far away from the release now. How are you feeling about it? Are you excited to get it out there?
I'm so antsy to get out of here. I feel like I've just been, time is going in slow motion until this tour starts, and I feel like the record couldn't come out soon enough. I wish it was out tonight or tomorrow,
Yeah. So obviously with every second album, you've got a lot less time to write it and record it as you did your debut. Do you think that helped or hindered you?
I think it helped because, I had so much time to write the first record. I mean, you don't even really know that you're writing it, but you're writing it, your life leading up to it, maybe. And some of the songs on the first record were a mix of I'd written this one 4 years previous, and then some of the last songs of the record I was writing 2 weeks before we were mixing it. So, it's a really long gap of time. And so a lot of it, when you're touring that, just starts feeling so old. So I was really, really, really antsy to start playing new material. And I had a lot of ideas for it already. So, when I went into making Street Safari, I already kind of had the whole picture of what I knew it should sound like and what it kind of should be as a whole. And then, writing it and demoing it felt more like drawing in the lines, coloring in the lines,
Yeah. You spoke a lot around the first album about not wanting Public Access TV to implode because you didn't have a backup plan. Does it feel safer now, or do you still have those insecurities? I think I always have those insecurities. I mean, I feel like I'm not as worried about imploding, I guess. I think that, we're just brothers. Like, we truly are. Like, I've known these dudes for so long. Like, I've known Max since I was like 12 years old. And here we are. I'm 27. And we're still in this, we still know each other. We're still doing it. And so it's crazy. We signed ourselves up to be in it for the long haul. But I've accepted that, I'm in it for the long haul regardless of what happens. So imploding or not imploding, it's just another step of the way.
On a purely sentimental note, I love In the Mirror. It's a great tune, and it's the first song I ever heard from you guys. Was there a reason it didn't make the debut album?
I actually love that song. I really was happy when I first finished it and wrote it. I was really proud of it. And it's just something, it's like wrapped up with, I don't know. I don't even know. Like, I don't think I have the rights to it. It got wrapped up with Polydor when we left with them. So, like, that's why it's only out on Spotify. And in the UK, like, you can't even hear it in America.
You've always been very vocal about the safety in rock and roll nowadays. What do you make of the scene at the moment? Is there anyone that's catching your eye?
No, not really. I
I
don't know. I kind of feel like it's like dumpster diving, and you're looking for something you can ingest without making you sick. So there's a few, there's a few things, but there's nobody that I'm raving about. I'm still just waiting around. But I think there's a few bands that make it feel like rock and roll is kind of making a comeback. So that's a good thing.
You're off on a UK tour soon, culminating at Brighton's Green Door store. What's the difference between touring the UK and touring the US?
Shorter drives, for sure. Livelier audiences. I mean, we have more of it's smaller, so we're spread out over here. We play a show in New York, and it may be more like playing a show in London, but then we drive to the middle of Ohio or something, and nobody's coming to see us. Nobody knows who we are. And so over there, it's a little bit more consistent, especially around the major cities. Like going back and forth between like Manchester and Brighton, and Bristol. It's just a little bit. It's more consistent. It feels nice because when we drive into the next city, we know that it's going to be a good night. Like, we feel pretty confident that, I don't know. It's honestly just 100 times more fun when the audience is right there with you.
Brighton's finest juice.